Neuroscience is a very exciting field of research. In recent decades, researchers all over the world have made tremendous advancements in our understanding of the working of our brain. And as often happens when big discoveries are made rapidly, some people become overly enthusiastic. Perhaps that is why it is not strange to hear statements like our thoughts are nothing more than electrical currents in the brain, or our feelings are just chemical reactions. It seems as if we have finally understood that there is no such thing as an immaterial soul. Human beings are simply a collection of atoms following the laws of physics. The purpose of this video is to explain why these kind of claims are, in my view, extremely naive. I will do that by explaining an argument put forward long ago by the famous mathematician and philosopher René Descartes, known as the conceivability argument. Descartes presents a form of this argument in his work, A Discourse on the Method. The first premise of the argument is the realization that one cannot doubt his own existence. You cannot conceive of yourself not existing at the present moment. For Descartes, this is obvious, since non-existent beings cannot doubt nor conceive anything at all. This is why he famously says, "I think, therefore I am." The second premise is that even though you know you exist, you can still conceive of your body as non-existent. After all, it could be that you are currently having an extremely realistic dream, and that the body that you see only exists in your imagination. Or to put it in more modern terms, it could be that you are living in a computer simulation, as some people in fact do believe, and that the real world is entirely different from what your senses are feeding your mind. Descartes summarizes the core of the argument as follows. Examining attentively what I was, I saw that I could pretend that I had no body and that there was no world or place for me to be in, but that I could not, for all that, pretend that I did not exist. Please note that Descartes is not saying that the material world does not exist or that we are living in a dream. He is merely considering what is logically possible. In his view, one can assert the following without contradiction. It is possible that my body, and in particular my brain, do not exist, but it is not possible that I do not exist. In other words, I can doubt the existence of the material world, but I cannot doubt my own existence. From this, we may conclude that our mind is not reducible to our brain. After all, if I claim that my body may not exist, but that I must exist, then what do I mean by I? Certainly not just my material body. Of course, Descartes acknowledges that input from our senses and different brain processes influence our thoughts, as has always been understood. For example, it is well known that when you drink too much strong Belgian beer, you can't think properly. The argument is not meant to show that our thoughts have nothing to do with our brain, which is obviously false, but that the physical processes in our brain are not all there is to our mind. Our mind is not equivalent or reducible to what's going on in our brain. You may interpret this argument as you wish, but for me, it is because of this and other more recent arguments that I'm not a reductionist or a physicalist when it comes to understanding the human mind. To me, claims such as our thoughts are electrical currents and chemical reactions are incredibly naive and can only arise from not being fully aware of the nature of our thoughts, or from attributing almost magical properties to electrical currents. There are for me more than enough logical arguments to show that every attempt to explain the human mind purely in terms of physical processes is, as a matter of principle, doomed to fail, just as anyone trying to square the circle is doomed to fail. If you are interested in the topic, I recommend the book Philosophy of Mind by Edward Feser for an overview of the different stances on the mind-body problem. I hope this video may inspire some of the viewers to go out and read more about the topic. Take care and see you in the next video.